Girl, Ivory beat Summer up so bad, it had Summer rethinking her whole life and wondering if she'll ever fight again. Is y'all ready to talk about it? Let's juice.
Come on, Blaze.
It's a beef for me.
Wah 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we are.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Voodoo Doll TV, back with a quick little juice or whatever the case may be. And girl, we gotta discuss Baddies Africa, girl. I think this is episode 3. The fights were fighting. Do you hear me? I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know I like me some Summer, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And when Ivory fought Summer for kept jumping in the fight with Lex and what's the girl name? Scotty. I thought that Ivory had every right to, and the way she beat on Summer and pounded her, a very, very small part of me felt sorry for her, but the large, vast majority of me was celebrating because Summer was doing too much, okay? At the end of the day, Summer does goes for, everybody knows that, and for the most part, in my opinion, to me, it don't be too much, but the way Summer has been acting lately, she's literally been acting like the girls that she claimed she was fighting against last year. Now she wants to be, oh, we the new G's or we the OGs or this, that, and the third. They are literally becoming the mean girls that they were fighting. And you know who else too bothered me a lot with that? Doggone Dolly. Dolly now all of a sudden hollering, running around, big three, big three, big three. Girl, if you don't sit down, like, it's just, the big 3 is becoming disappointing. Outside of Lex, I still like Lex. I know a lot of people don't like Lex because she ended up giving Ivory the business. But at the end of the day, I still roll with Lex. I rock with her down to the ground. She cool. And to be completely honest, she did her big one when it came to her fight with Scotty. Now, nobody's expecting Scotty to beat up Lex. Literally nobody. But either way, that fight was a long time coming. Lex had been saying she wanted to get at Scotty, and we know Scotty's not a fighter, but Scotty had to get in the paint, and she did. So shout out to Scotty. We got the new girls fighting, girl. Everybody's beefing with each other. They haven't even really found their rooms yet because they still out here beefing. The foreigners fighting with the natives, girl. It's just too much happening all at the same time. Oh, and can I add that I love the fact that all of the girls are staying in one house. I mean, obviously without Natalie, but everybody's staying in one house. Rolly, DTB, the new girls, Scotty, everybody's staying in one house, so there's no more divide. And I think that's the best thing for this show, because creating that invisible line of who's who and who's not, I thought that was always dumb because I think all these girls are on the same playing field. But anyway, do me a favor. Grab your things. We're about to get on into this episode. Grab your Zaza, your earbuds, your looker, whatever it is you need. And let's get right on into the episode. So now the episode opens up where we left off. Taye wants to get her rounds off with DTB. DTB at first really didn't want to fight Taye. You know, they had their little 1-2 on the bus, but at one point DTB realized we just gonna have to squabble. So DTB and Taye get their ones off, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't know who won. I don't know. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. I just don't know. I just know they got the fighting. Now, while this is happening, Big Lex decides now is the best opportune time, or now is the opportune time to just run up and sneak Scotty. She said because she's been trying to get at Scotty all this time. Scotty keep running. So she ran up on Scotty and snuck Scotty, and then all HE double hockey sticks broke loose. Even Rolly was like, Lord, somebody go help Scotty. And I'm saying, Rolly, why you don't go help her? But I forgot. Rolly said, baby, she not getting in no fight with that giraffe. I said, there you go. Sound about right. But all the girls are astonished and surprised and can't believe that Scotty is really getting in the paint. But one thing I'll give Scotty, she really did get in the paint. And then when she was asking Big Lex why she fought her, Big Lex was like, because girl, you already know me and you was supposed to get down. We ain't never got down. And I felt like if I didn't hit you, you wasn't going to hit me back. Now, this is the gag. The whole time, instead of Scotty going off on Lex, She going off on Natalie, telling Natalie this is her fault. Because remember, Natalie last season had said that she was going to get Big Lex to beat up Scotty. So Natalie and Scotty starting to get into it because Scotty looks over at Natalie and was like, Natalie, this is all your fault. You're the reason why this is happening. And Natalie was like, what? You guys, I can't believe you'd say that. Pass me my vape. I know I said it last season, but I was just kidding. I wouldn't dare have her do this. Oh my God, Scotty is so annoying. Pass me my vape. But Scotty not trying to hear that. Scotty like, Natalie, this is your fault. You chose this girl to come fight me because you want to replace me as Scotty with the highlighter body and make Big Lex with the highlighter text. She was like, so I'm not going to let you do it. I see right through you. Now, her and Natalie going back and forth because Natalie is swearing to God in high heaven. She ain't got nothing to do with it. Another tussle break out and the doggone security guard done fell in the pine. And I ain't going to lie. At this point, I want to say, security, since you down there already, can you get down and see if you can find the watch that belong to Pretty P? The one Summer threw down there. Can you check while you already wetting down there? But they hurry up and got him up out of there. I say, Lord, this is a time. Now, Ivory ended up calling out Summer because Ivory felt like every time Lex and Scotty went to getting into it, Summer kept jumping in. So Ivory was like, Summer, come on. I want to fight. And I was saying, Summer, girl, run. But Summer, being Summer, stood in the paint. And I don't know why, because that wasn't a smart decision. Girl, the fight ensues, and they wasn't on their feet but for 5 seconds. Because before I could blink my eyes and say swing back Summer, all I know is that doggone Ivory turned Summer into a somersault. Do you hear me? Ivory was on top of doggone Summer, pounding her face in, girl, like pound cake. Do you hear me? When I tell you, whop, 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 whop. I'm talking about face, hit, head, hit. I was saying, oh, Lord, somebody threw in a towel. Girl, Summer was eating more grass than a goat. Do you hear me? Girl, Ivory beat the brakes off of Summer. And honestly, I completely stand behind Ivory and beating Summer up because all that jumping, all that bullying stuff is fake, it's played, it's old. And Ivory did the right thing by beating Summer up. I ain't gonna lie. And poor Big Lex had to just stand by and watch. Even Big Lex said it was so hard for her to watch Ivory just pound Summer face into the concrete. She said it got so bad to when the licks kept coming, she just was like this. Stop! He's already dead. Girl, Ivory goes over to DTB. They compare black eyes to see who's the blackest. Ivory confirmed that DTB's eye ain't too bad, and DTB turned around and said, girl, she messed yours up. I ain't gonna lie, I think Ivory have an eye that just don't like her. It just always gets messed up every fight. So she needed a second confirmation, and she goes over to Pretty P and was like, tell the truth, Pretty P. Did this hoe grab my eye? And Pretty P was like, yeah, it looked like she got you good, fat. Looked like she scratched you all up in there. She was like, but she did the same thing to me, though. Pretty P, where was your antennas when the girls was fighting, girl? Pretty P be conveniently missing, huh? And you know, one thing I can appreciate about Ivory was like, you know, I don't get no cool points for beating up Summer. Everybody know I could beat her up. She was like, but it was just the jumping stuff. It just got on my nerves. She was like, I'm sick of her. I'm tired of her. So I had to beat her up. And she's right. And you know what? Summer deserved every single lick she got. Because it's one thing when you jumping in to defend your friends or you jumping in because they jumping your friend. But it's a whole other thing when you jumping in just to be a bully. And the fact that Ivory had to beat you down like that and humble you up like that, beat you down and humble you up, that tells me that was long overdue. Summer, I hope that you learned something, even though I feel like you didn't. I hope that you learned something, and that something is stop being a bully. It don't even look good on you. It truly don't. Period, point blank. Let's move on. Meanwhile, Scotty and Natalie is still getting into it. Scotty feels like Natalie picked her side because Natalie wouldn't jump in and stop Lex from pounding her face. But Natalie feel like, girl, I did jump in. I literally put my whole body between y'all, but it's never enough. But Scotty was like, nah, stay on your side. Stay on your side. You chose a side. You claim this is all work related, but honestly, it's got to be more to it than that. Now, Natalie is over there looking perplexed because in her mind, she didn't do nothing wrong. But Natalie, we all know you set up these fights, girl. And you know what's crazy? Scotty knows it too. Literally because you said it out loud. Let's start there first. It's not like you hid it. You hid the plot and nobody's supposed to know. You literally said last season that you're going to get Big Lex to beat her up. And now Big Lex done beat her up. She's putting 2 to 2 together, and it seems like you behind it, Natalie. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Now, Cold Killer, as I call her, Skrilla, takes this opportune time to say that she want to get into the paint with Diamond the Body. Now, according to her, she want to fight Diamond the Body over that song that her and Tinker Fat did. She feel like Diamond heard the song, and Diamond should know that that's her song, and she didn't even give them props or even shout them out, so that was basically lame. According to Diamond, Diamond said, girl, first of all, I never heard y'all song. I never even knew the song. It ain't even my song. And honestly, I understand what DTB is saying. What DTB is saying is, girl, this song came to me from Tinker. I had never heard the song or the concept or nothing before. I just hopped on it. You need to be really getting this up with Tinker. And she's absolutely right. Because this is the gag. People with a platform and other people who do music, a lot of times steal their music from smaller creators, like on SoundCloud and stuff like that, and then they redo it and just push it out by the numbers. A lot of your faves are guilty of doing it. Cardi B, a lot of these girls, right? This is what they do. And I believe that Tinker may have heard the song or heard the concept and rewrote the song and went to DTB with it, and then they redid the song. I believe that DTB may not have ever heard the song. I do believe that whoever owns the song is who Skrilla need to be getting into the paint with, but Skrilla don't care. She want to fight anybody, and DTB is up on the docket, so obviously DTB has to get in the paint. So DTB saw her put a mouth guard in her mouth and felt flattered and was like, oh, she get that from me. They get the tussling. I still don't know who won the fight. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. With DTB, it be hard a lot of times to see who win her fights. Because I'm not even sure if DTB be fighting for real or if she just be doing what she got to do for the cameras. But either way, they got into a tussle, girl. This was the part that got me, girl. So DTB was on top of Skrilla, girl. Had her down to the ground. And Skrilla said she used to do wrestling back in the Gap. So she said when she had was on the ground, she tapped into her wrestle mode from WrestleMania and stuck her big toe up DTB's cooter and got DTB up off. I said, you did what? Girl, Skrilla, you is not playing, huh, girl? My girl Skrilla said, baby, I've been wrestling with my brothers all my life. I had to fight. She said, so baby, I took that big old toe, girl, and stuck it so far up that cooter, girl, she ain't know what hit her. Got her up off me, as you should. Go ahead on, Skrilla. So now the fight done broke up, right? Or they breaking up the fight between Skrilla and DTB. But while this is popping off, the girl Elsie felt like now is the best time to get her ones off. So now Elsie over there looking at the ops, but she just trying to make sure she play it safe. She trying to wait till the fights die down between Scotty and them so she can get her ones off, right? Meanwhile, Scotty and Summer is getting into it, and Scotty basically telling Summer that she need to mind her business. I think somebody else yelled out on the bike for Summer to mind her business and stay out of it, and Summer hurry up and say, oh, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't want no fight. I don't want no fight. I bet you don't. See, Summer, you not foolish. The way Ivory beat your face into that concrete just now, you don't want no smoke with these girls. You running around with your head down. Do you hear me? As you should. And whole T, let Scotty and Natalie deal with whatever they got to scissor with and deal with, girl. Just leave that alone. So Dolly hollers, oh, I thought Scotty would have been cool with us, but she flipped on us. And oh, Scotty, you picked the side when you came in. Dolly, please. Shouldn't you be on somebody's stretcher right now? Girl. Scotty felt like, girl, I didn't have no beef or ill will toward none of y'all. I wanted to get to know all of y'all, but y'all flipped on me. That's what it was. It wasn't me flipping on y'all. Y'all flipped on me. And as for Lex just wanted to fight me because of Natalie. Natalie had Lex do her big one, and that's why she did that. Now, after Scotty still jumped in the middle of the circle talking about she's still pretty, Lex said run it bike another round. And I was saying, no, girl, please, Scotty, please don't fight her. But Scotty was, I don't know, she must have been high. I don't know. But Scotty ended up getting in the middle of the fight anyway. And I'm over here saying, Lord Jesus, why? I mean, you ever volunteered to get your ass whipped? I know I haven't. So I don't know what this feels like. Something is seriously wrong with this girl. And I'm talking about Scotty at this point. Girl, you don't have nothing to prove. What is you fighting for? And look at Natalie. Now, Natalie tries to put her whole body in the fight this time so that Scotty won't be able to come back and say you didn't jump in. But to no avail, because Scotty's still going to feel like you didn't jump in, Natalie. And it won't be enough. So basically, Lex was telling Scotty, like she said, it's up and it's on site every time because, girl, you done played with me too much. You done got around here and this, that, and the third, and I'm going to beat you up. Honestly, you just doing the bidding of Natalie. That's what you're doing. Let's just call a thing a thing. And Scotty knows that. Scotty's been around Natalie long enough to know how Natalie is, how Natalie roll, and she understands that Natalie is using Lex to beat up Scotty just because she mad with Scotty. That's all this is about. Moment they back cool, all this will be behind them. So Natalie decides now is the best time more than any to raise our glasses and do a baddie shot o'clock. Baddie shot o'clock. Baddie shot o'clock. Pass me my vape. And she looked over out her peripheral and couldn't believe what she saw. She said, well, what's going on? You guys, production, directors, get the cameras on DTB. What's happening? Pass me my vape. DTB, why aren't you singing Baddie shot o'clock? And you know, for the first time, I finally truly understood why Biggie said what she said with Natalie with these doggone baddie shots o'clock.
Yo, baddie shot o'clock.
Yo, it's quick to do baddie shot o'clock, bitch.
I mean, timing, Natalie, timing. Girl, nobody want to hear that all the time. Niggas in the middle of fighting for their lives, and here you come with baddie shot o'clock, girl. So anyway, at first, DTB was like, I don't have to say baddie shot o'clock. And then furthermore, why are you looking over here worried about what I'm doing? You need to be worried about what the masses of them are doing. And Natalie got into it with DTB. They go back and forth. Natalie feels like DTB, you are a baddie. You need to be in on this and you need to be just as participating as the rest of the girls. Because Natalie's whole thing is she feel like DTB wants her spot. And DTB want to take her place. She was like, and that'll never happen. And DTB feel like, girl, I don't want your spot. I'm just saying, you sitting up here being disrespectful, starting mess, you can get beat on too. And that just is what it is. So after much convincing of Natalie, I'm the CEO. You guys, you're gonna have to respect me. No longer is respect an option. Now you're going to have to, okay? DTB finally gives up and goes and do the baddie shot o'clock to shut Natalie up. And it does, and we move on. Or at least we think we moving on, because this should be the end of the fights, right? At least that's what I'm thinking. Here come Natalie. You guys, I want you to go and find your rooms. I just want to let everybody know that there's no new G's and no OGs. Everybody's a baddie. You're all gonna stay in one house, all except me, but you're all gonna stay in one house because we're all on the same team. We're all baddies, okay? Pass me my vape. And so then the girl Fania was like, clock it. I'm so glad she said that in front of everybody. Ain't no new G's, ain't no OGs. We all just baddies. And I was like, right, Fania, girl. So I think this the girl, K. Rican. I'm still learning their names. But either way, I think this her. If it's not, drop down in the comments. She jumped up and hollered, well, where's Anna? Now, according to Natalie, she said she had to let Anna go. But you know, Natalie don't really be firing nobody. You see what I'm saying? So, girl, you doing all that flipping of your hair for a while. Anna gonna be right back. But DTB and Natalie are getting into it. And basically, DTB is trying to spread her case or share her case that basically she don't want to have no issues with Natalie. She just want respect out of Natalie. But Natalie don't want to hear it, obviously. Natalie's used to puffing on vapes and doing what she want to do. So no matter how much talking you do to Natalie, it's never going to get through. And DTB, to be completely honest, people don't like DTB. I think she's sweet. And I think she's a cool girl. So I don't understand what the people have beef with her about. DTB really just getting the pain when she have to. And that's the only time. So Natalie decides that she was going to let bygones be bygones, and she extended her apologies to DTB and was like, you know what, DTB? Pass me my vape. I'm so sorry if I ever made you feel away, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't know. Accept my apology. And DTB was like, yeah, girl, I accept it. And so Ivory was like, girl, should we do a one big group hug just to say that we all back cool? And Natalie was like, no. Oh my God. I don't trust DTB. I'll never hug her. Are you okay? Are you insane? Pass me my vape. So now the girl K Rican and Elsie about to get into it. Is that her name, Elsie? I don't know. The foreign girl. But they getting into it because Elsie had confronted K Rican about saying that basically Elsie was weird. And basically K Rican was like, yeah, I said it, and what? Either way, these girls about to get the tussling because K Rican didn't appreciate Elsie confronting her, and Elsie didn't appreciate K Rican even playing with her like that. So them girls got the twisting up, mind you, right? Now, whole time, according to K Rican, she wasn't the only one said that Elsie was weird. That all of the girls was around there saying Elsie was weird. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Elsie, you might be weird. Girl, I like you now. I like you, but you might be weird. Now, Skrilla decides that since K Rican was tired and said she couldn't fight no more, she was going to jump in and fight on K Rican's behalf because K Rican is tired. But I'm over here saying, girl, I get it. That's your little partner. But girl, it was a one-on-one. Let her rock out. You feel me? But either way, before they could break it up, the other girls found out that Skrilla done jumped in. Now they want it with Skrilla. The girl Taye go over to Elsie and was like, Elsie, bitch, like, no, girl, you over here trying to fight K Rican, that's cool. Y'all had y'all ones, but you need to get over here and go get Skrilla. But at the time, Elsie is seeing red. She losing her mind. She's still going over there fighting all these other girls. And we just over here saying, girl, they jumping you, beating you and everything, girl. What is you gonna do, okay? But K Rican is over there feeling like, you know, it is what it is. She had to get in the paint for her friend, so she did just that. Now, as you can see, the fight ain't too particularly going Elsie's way. But it don't matter. She in the paint. She in the paint. That's what it means. That's what it matters. The fact that she in the paint is enough for Elsie. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Ella. Now, Taye go grab Ella again and say, Ella, bitch, I'm telling you, girl, you're fighting the wrong one. This girl Skrilla was jumping in on you. Get your nappy ass over there and get the windmill and just put your head down and let your arms go. So then Elsie was like, bet, say less. So, girl, all I know is I turned around, they went to squaring up, and I said, Lord, please be with Elsie. If you don't be with nobody else at this point, be with Elsie. But I think he had other plans. God was busy because that girl told Elsie every which way but loose. She looked so bad getting beat up. Oh, Elsie looked so bad, but she was in the paint though. One thing about Elsie, she stayed in the paint, okay? So now the girl Taye go get Elsie and was like, come on, girl, they beating you up. Come on, girl, let me get you to safety, girl. Come on, girl. So she goes get Elsie and try to give Elsie a pep talk. Natalie's in the middle. You guys, I know you were fighting, but have you seen my vape? All hell done broke loose. Do you hear me? The girl Taye was like, yeah, I made Elsie go get beat up, but at least she fought for what's right. And what's right is that girl jumped her and she had to get her lick back. I'm with Taye. Ain't nothing wrong with going to get your lick back, especially if you deserve to get one back, right? What's her name? Rolly big fat funky nasty cheesy greasy dirty. Sitting over there in the corner just looking in awe because these new girls ain't playing, okay? So Elsie hopped in the confessional looking like a church mother to tell us that she lost her brooch and that also she don't mind fighting till the wee hours of the morning because where she from in her village, they fight all the time anyway, so it's nothing. She says up till it's stuck, and I said shout out to Elsie. I ain't mad at her with that. You feel me? So anyway, look at her. Oh, poor fat. The Caribbean coming out of her. She looks so bad, don't she? Girl, they done told Elsie every which way but loose. Do you hear me? So now Elsie must have been hallucinating or something because Elsie started freaking out talking about niggas snuck her. And everybody looking around like, girl, who snuck you? What? But Elsie don't know nothing. All Elsie know is somebody done snuck her and she needs to get to the bottom of who snuck her and she needs to do it now. And so Ivory was kind of trying to help out, like, hey girl, how many fingers am I holding up? Okay, girl, nobody snuck you. You literally ran up and got beat up. Literally, nobody snuck you. Like, if anything, you did the sneaking. Nobody snuck you. But Elsie don't want to hear that. Elsie said she felt 15 hands coming out of every different direction, and she know it had to be at least 12 other girls on her bike. But Ivory was trying to tell Elsie, no, girl, it was just you. It was just you. You got beat up by yourself. It was a one-on-one, Fat. And here comes Summer. Always in the middle of some stuff. Summer comes over there, and Ivory had to straight up tell Summer, girl, now's not the time. I just beat you down to the ground. Please go lay down. But Summer's over there in the middle of all the BS and the chaos, and Ivory had enough. Ivory put that arm up and said, Summer, if you don't go sit your nappy head ass down somewhere over there, I'ma pound your face into the concrete again. And Summer couldn't do nothing but say, yes'm. Yes'm. Somebody help me with that down, girl. As she should. So now the girl K Reekin, is that her? That's gotta be K Reekin, because it ain't Skrilla. Either way, the girl in the pink, she said she tired. She ready to go catch her breath. She can't fight no more. She need to go breathe. And I said, oh my Lord. But the problem is Russian Cream want the smoke, because Russian Cream feel like, yeah, girl, we always over there calling that girl crazy, and you want to get on here and say that you didn't say she was weird. Now I want my ones. So now Russian Cream is running behind K Reekin trying to fight her. Now security catch Russian Cream in the bike trying to run behind K Reekin, but K Reekin is stuck behind the doors saying that she need to catch her breath. She not fighting nobody until she's able to breathe. But Russian Cream don't care about breathing and all of that. She just want to swing them hands. She confronts Kay at the bathroom and was like, come on, girl, come outside. We not going to jump you. And K Reekin was like, girl, I need to breathe. I need oxygen over here. I'm not about to keep fighting with you and keep fighting and fighting. But the girl, Russian Cream, was like, girl, it don't matter. I want to fight. Like, let's roll. But Kay is not biting. Scotty and all them tried to go into the back to kind of calm down Russian Cream. But Russian Cream said, ain't no calming down. She done had enough. She want her ones with the girl Kay. Now, while that's happening, Natalie decides to pull DTB aside to show her around the hotel, not the hotel, the mansion, because she wants to give DTB the biggest room and to also let her know that she don't want no smoke. So her and DTB get to walking around the mansion. She's showing DTB. She was like, girl, we giving you the whole bottom floor. You got your own gym, your own game room. You got an infinity pool. You got everything that you want. I want to accommodate you and make sure you doing good. So now DTB looking around like, ooh, girl, what did I do to deserve this? Okay, honey. Yes, girl. Talk about a lap of luxury. Natalie is really treating me, huh, girl? And I'm saying, girl, of course there's a catch. So after Natalie showed her around everywhere with the toilet that have the water that come up and wash you up, yes, after you use a number 2, she showed her the bathroom, showed her everything, and was like, so Diamond, pass me my vape. Let me know what you think. Do you like the space? Tell the truth. Don't lie. So DTB was like, I do. I really do like it. Natalie, thank you so much. But I'm starting to ask myself, why would you even think of me enough to give me all of this space? Like, what's real tea? So Natalie was like, well, Diamond, I know you want my job. I know you want to be me. I know, I can tell. And DTB was like, girl, I do not want your job, nor do I want to be you. But Natalie said, it doesn't matter. I bought 15 extra vapes for you to hand out. I'm giving you the best rooms. I'm sorry if I made you feel away. I'm going to have you back on Baddies. You won't even have to fight. What do you think? And so Diamond was like, oh my God, Natalie, seriously? And she was like, yes, I have to be honest and come clean. You were the MVP of Baddies Caribbean, and I'm sorry. And I should have gave you a chain earlier. So I just want to treat you really good, okay? And DTB is loving all of this. This is all she ever wanted. Now, whole time, Scotty done found her room. I think Lemmy told her what room to go get. But she said she had happened to run across the room downstairs. And let me tell y'all something to the girls in the bike. If y'all ever go to big houses, really huge, big old houses, typically the biggest rooms are downstairs, not upstairs. Just a little food for thought. But speaking of food for thought, somebody decided they wanted food, but it wasn't going to be for the thought. Somebody decided that they wanted to sit down at the table and said they had a chef that came by, prepared all this good empanada, and she refused to let it go to waste. And guess who it was? Rolly big fat funky nasty cheesy greasy dirty. Look at her standing at the microwave watching the plate go round in a circle. Somebody called Dr. Now. Now, on the flip side, Taye decides that she don't want to stay in the room that she's in. So she says she's going to take her name off that room and go look for a bigger room. Now, she almost ran across Rolly, but she said she ain't going to do that to Rolly because she respect Rolly. But she did run across a room that was big and spacious that she liked. And it just so happened to be the room with Lex, Ivory, and Dolly in the room. Now, Lex don't really care. Taye feel like this is a spacious room. I want to go get my stuff and put it in here. But obviously, Dolly and Summer have an issue with this because they feel like, girl, you cannot just walk up in here. And look at bad Dolly. We are the big three, and we shouldn't have to go around looking for rooms. Taye need to go find her own room. This ain't got nothing to do with her. She not one of the big three. Girl, how old are you, Dolly? Big three? This the first club you ever been in, huh? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. She reliving her childhood days. That's why she's sitting up there looking like a toddler. Girl, this don't make sense. So either way, Summer was like, girl, you can't stay here. And Taye was like, girl, I'm staying here. What's up? And what about it? Who gonna pop me? And I'm over here saying, well, who's gonna pop her? She said she gonna get her stuff and move into the room. And it looks like that's what she's gonna do. Now, a little tussle did break out. And security did go ahead on and grab Taye real quick. You feel what I'm saying? But Taye says she don't care. She's still sleeping in that room. As you should, girl. Sleep where you want it and sleep where you comfortable. Now, on the flip side, Elsie still losing her rabbit. She running around here wanting to fight and swing on any and everybody. Security, the doorman, the chef. Girl, she want to fight everybody. And Ivory's trying to calm her down. They brought her around to see her room. She don't care nothing about that. She used to sleeping on sticks anyway. She don't care. So when Ivory went to go hugging on her, she looking crazy because she want to fight Ivory, but she knows she not going to win. So she just got to let Ivory hug on her. That's why she making this face right here. You know, she a little slow. So Ivory's trying to calm Elsie down. And one thing Ivory said that stuck to me. Ivory said, girl, calm down. You want to fight? We going to get them to fight you. But you can't fight when you mad. That's how you get beat up. You can't fight mad. You got to fight when you calculated and you could think. And I said, oh, let me write that down. Okay. So anyway, they get the tussling back and forth, hollering and screaming back and forth. Of course, Elsie still wants the smoke. So, of course, Elsie is still trying to get around people to fight. All the girls are over there trying to calm Elsie down, telling Elsie to just chill. Somebody get her a drink or something to calm her down. But Elsie's not hearing any of it. Elsie feels like, girl, I'm already up and turned on and you can't turn me off. And Natalie done had enough. Natalie was like, girl, we've literally been in this house fighting all day long. Natalie said she ran out of vapes. She need more vape juice. She gotta go. She not sticking around no longer. Meanwhile, the new girls is out there beefing. We got some of the girls downstairs wanting to fight the girls upstairs. Then we also got Ivory in the middle bucking it up like, y'all ain't gonna come downstairs. All of a sudden, all we know is the girls that was upstairs decided that they wasn't gonna be bullied and pranked and played on. So they decided to come downstairs. Ivory is enjoying all of this because Ivory said for the first time, these girls is tussling and it don't have nothing to do with her. So she's just absolutely happy that it's all popping off the way that it's happening. So Fania decided since Russian Cream wants to fight her girl Kay and Kay too tired to fight, that she'll pick up her slack and pick up her lightweight for her and she'll fight. So her and Russian Cream get into a fight, right? Now I'm going to say that Fania won that fight. And the only reason I'm going to say it is not because when I was watching the actual fight, it seemed like Fania was necessarily getting the best of Russian Cream. It was really because of this. When I seen Russian Cream trying to peel herself off the concrete, I said, yeah, Fania must have got her. She must have got her. That's all I can think. She got her. So Fania ended up taking up the slack for her girl Kay and getting Russian Cream. Skrilla says she now has beef with Summer and she calls out Summer and tells Summer she want to fight. And Summer was like, you know what? Line it up. It is what it is. I done already got beat up as bad as I did now. So we might as well just line it up. So they square up to line it up. Both of these girls are windmilling for their lives. I don't know who won. I think they both won. And they both lost. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I stopped watching some of these fights this episode to see who won and who lost. Especially ones like this little knick-knack, ding. You know what I'm saying? To me, it just didn't. I didn't have to pay that much attention. Or at least I felt like it. So anyway, they gets to fighting or whatever. But you know, Summer lose most of her fights. So we just going to give it to Skrilla. And say that Skrilla went on and pop some upside the head. Natalie and her chin has had enough, so she tells the girls, she was like, you guys, go and get your rooms. You're all staying here at the same time. I'm leaving. If you guys want to fight all night, you can fight. We have some bookings later, so please be ready. I'm out. Pass me my vape. So now moving on the next day, Natalie leaves and obviously Rolly and Scotty are there in the house and they start talking about all the fights that happened the night before. Now, according to Rolly was like, girl, I did not expect all them fights. Like, these girls is not playing. And Scotty was like, yeah, she didn't appreciate the fight between her and doggone Lex. She was like, and she also didn't appreciate the fact that Natalie is the reason behind all of this and Natalie want to throw rocks and hide her hands. But at least Rolly was like, well, I will give you this, Scotty. You handled your big one. You got in the paint. And Scotty was like, girl, I always get in the paint. No, you don't. No, you don't. You really don't. Honestly, you was doing a lot of jumping. But getting in the paint, So DTB comes out the back with a doggone airplane pillow on, talking about her neck. And I done caught on with you, DTB. See, every time DTB have fights and she done fighting, she don't want to fight no more, she put herself on injured reserve. That's what this is. Talking about, oh, I got this on my neck because all the fights I was having. Girl, it's an airplane pillow. For real. So Rolly was like, girl, you need to let me borrow that, girl. How you feeling after the fight with Natalie and all that stuff? And DTB was like, you know, I didn't want to have to beef with Natalie, but I had to because Natalie wasn't going to keep disrespecting me. And I can't fight no more because I done had too many fights right now at this point. So Scotty was like, well, girl, how do you feel since Natalie apologized? And that was the hand that DTB fan with. When I tell you she was cheese from ear to ear, look at her. Oh, I've always wanted that. I'm so happy she apologized and she gave me the bigger room. And all the other girls are looking at her like, for real. And even Scotty was like, girl, you believe Natalie really sorry? Girl, good luck. Good luck. But either way, the girls decided to go get themselves together. And this the part that got me. Scotty said she's tired and she feel like she was hit by a train. And girl, when Roland said you was hit by a train, the train was Lex. I said, oh my God. And even Scotty had to say, girl, you ain't lying. Because when she hit me, I was screaming and wailing. Okay. So now Russian Cream is sitting down with some of the new girls. Her, Skrilla, and I can't remember who else was over there. But she's sitting down trying to ask the girls how they felt about the night before and what they think about all the fights that happened. So Skrilla was like, yeah, you know, I had to fight with DTB. You know, do I regret it? No, I fought her because I needed to. But she was like, at the end of the day, DTB really be chilling. She really cool. So I don't really have no ill will toward her moving forward. Like, we fought, it's over, it's done, or whatever. Taye felt like she needed the fight to redeem herself. She said, because DTB really got me on the bus, even though I slipped. Now, according to Pretty P said she didn't see her slip. She just saw DTB on top of her, minking her. But she gonna let her go with the slip move if that's what she wanna do. Now, Russian Cream ain't regretting the fact that she was trying to fight the girl Kay because she felt like Kay was messy with the whole stuff with Elsie, whatever the girl name is. And she'll fight her again if she have to. Now, Summer and Dolly walks out to the patio where they known ops are. So I'm sitting on here saying, girl, what is y'all going out there to politic with them for? Y'all not even cool. But it's obvious to start a fight. Duh. But I will say this. Bad Dolly in that confessional, she looked so beautiful. I love the outfit. I love the hair. I love the little spiral cone things in her ponytails. She looked amazing. I love this look. Love the Africa confessionals. The Africa confessionals are giving, okay? So anyway, Summer decides to take this time to apologize to Pretty P and say, you know, Pretty P, me and you don't have no beef. It really wasn't for you. And Pretty P felt like If it wasn't for me, then why did y'all steal my purse and why did you take my watch? She was like, because they gave me back my Baddies chain, but you took my watch and then you took my watch and threw it down in the pond. Why would you do that? And Summer felt like, because girl, I got to have the one up. Like, yeah, it's no beef, but I got to keep the one up. But according to Pretty P, she was like, no worries, because I got an upgrade. So apparently, Natalie then replaced her Rolex and got her a better one. So Pretty P was like, girl, say less, it was an upgrade. But honestly, it's the principle that she threw your doggone watch in the pond. But according to Pretty P, she said she's still gonna get her. It's just a matter of time. Now, Dolly is over there popping her big one. Aha, we the big three, this, that, and the third. And somebody asked her who all she had a fight with yesterday. Now, according to Dolly said she had a fight with everybody and she don't mind fighting again. And then she looks over to her peripheral and she saw Skrilla and she said, oh, hey, Skrilla girl. I ain't even noticed that was you because I couldn't see your black eyes and all of that stuff. You know, you got all your makeup on and whatnot. And Skrilla was like, girl, please, girl, I ain't got no black eyes, girl, and I'm out here, what's up, and I'm still ready to fight for whoever want to fight, so girl, please tread light and watch your tongue. But Bad Dolly was like, girl, it don't matter, it's up, because I guess it's the big three versus everybody. I don't know. All I know is the fight broke out because Summer decided to have the back of Bad Dolly and jumped on Skrilla and they got to fighting. I don't know who won. All I know is this is where the episode breaks and this is where the episode ends. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I'm going to be completely honest. The big three starting to get on my nerves. Outside of Lex, Dolly and Summer are starting to get on and under my nerves, and it's time for them to start getting beat up. Now, Summer just got beat up by Ivory, and you would think that would humble her. Not a slow girl like Summer. It'll never happen. But anyway, what y'all think about it? Drop down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on all platforms, and I'll catch y'all hoes later, girl. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.